Hi, everybody. I'm Emily Atlantis Wolf. And do you know people who can't make decisions? People who are wishy-washy, they ask other people for advice, they go to a committee, they'd rather ask other people, what should I do? What, next step should I take? Things like that, instead of trusting themselves. I teach people intuitive techniques so they can trust themselves to make confident decisions. And I do that in many different ways. So I do that in breathwork and cacao ceremonies, so you can trust your own journey within to find your own medicine. I do that in writing courses, so you can start that path of self-discovery, which is asking open-ended questions to yourself, writing them out, including things that you hope no one will know about you. You can write down the stories you hope beyond hope no one will ever know about you, tear it out of your journal, and do a fire ceremony that I will walk you through so that you can release that energy and that shame and what's left over that feels like a shackle around your neck, and then move into your life. I teach people that on retreats. I have a retreat in Sedona in May and in England, in Oxfordshire, England, in September next year, where I take people through the 4 phases of change on the shamanic wheel, which is earth, water, earth, fire, air. I'm also dyslexic, which keeps me very humble. So it's a pathway that I take people through in different courses, but on a retreat, we get to do it in real time. I do a writing course that starts in January, another one in November. I also do group coaching where we talk through what is happening for the week. So it's a year-long program. You can join by the month or you can join by the year. And I help people identify where they are in the cycle of change. It's not linear. We don't all just say, I'm going to dream a dream today, which would be the water cycle, gestating, floating, emotional, crying, not knowing which direction to turn. That's a gestational phase where you need to just hibernate, connect to the water in your body, and try out different things. Well, what if I go in this direction, this direction? Start to trust your body when your body gives you a big lightning bolt like, yes, let's go write a book. Yes, let's go on a retreat. Let's do something we've never done. People in the earth phase they're marching and they're coming up with lists. They have a list for everything in their life and they're just doing and doing and doing because they already have decided, this is my dream. I'm going to go after the dream. Maybe they're in fire. In fire, it's the ring of fire, right before you birth that dream. That's where the limiting belief comes up. You worked through all of it, you did all the steps, but there's a limiting belief. I'm not good enough. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too inexperienced. I'm not educated enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not poor enough. I don't live in the right country. I'm not married. Whatever core limiting belief that's way, way, way down inside, that's when it comes up. And the other side, the shadow side, is grief. When you have a dream and you move forward, you're leaving something behind. If you give up smoking, you leave all the people you used to go smoking with at lunch. If you give up drinking, you give up the connection to the people you used to go to happy hour with. If you move, you give up your local community. There's always grief involved in change, and pursuing dreams means honoring the grief. You're leaving your old self and maybe some relationships behind, but you know your destiny is taking you forward. You have to honor that before you can step into the last phase, which is air. And it's celebrating everything that you just did to reinvent and rebirth yourself. And it feels like flying. And that's how you know you're in the air cycle. You're untouchable, you're in a bliss state, you're happy, and you're amazed. Even if it's just because you walked out the door living in this new state of mind. And I help people identify that in the coaching and then help them move through that phase, because you have to honor each little step of that phase and then move to the next phase, because we always are rebirthing ourselves. We're always redreaming our lives. We're always moving forward. That's why I call it infinity flow. When we stop, we're not living. When we're flowing, we're going. And so my job is, particularly with women, I'm very connected to helping women over 50 flow, is to figure out what is in your river that's keeping you from flowing and helping you move it. I could move it. I'm not going to. I'm going to teach you how to move it, because that's more powerful. And having a planet full of powerful women is my vision. So coaching kicks off in January, writing kicks off in January. The retreats I'm already taking payments for. There's only enough room for 6 or 8 people. Sedona's co-ed, UK, all women. We're going to go to 𝙅𝙅𝙎. We're going to go to Roll-Right Studio to the big stone circle. We're going to do breath work at the equinox, equally balanced between the summer and the winter. And we're going to help ourselves. We're going to help balance ourselves and each other. So everything that I have is on atlantiswolf.com, which is not my real name. It's my spirit name that a shaman gave me. And I decided 3 years ago to just start using that name because it reflected who I am, not my dad, who's a great teacher, but not a great person, and my ex-husband, who's also a great person, but not connected to me. So I'm happy to help. I'm really excited about collaborating. I really love cross-pollinating, where if we have similar audiences, I will send your stuff to my email list with an intro. If you send your email list an intro. I don't believe in taking email lists, but I believe in cross-pollinating to see if there's some overlap in our wonderful, beautiful tribal communities. Thanks, JJ, for bringing us together.